Guess what time it is? It is Hobonichi time. So hopefully you're ready. I'm not sure I'm ready, but I have a big box with my name on it, and I thought that I would show you guys all the goodies that came along. And no, I'm not gonna pull it underneath here because like that just looks messy. So hello and welcome to the 2026 Hobonichi unboxing. Today we're not really going to be setting things up, but I definitely wanted to show you all the goodies that has come directly from Hobonichi and some extras that I picked up along the way. And hello, hi there, how are you? My name is Meshi and I'm from Align Plans, and I'm so glad that you are here and hanging out with me. So if you have been dying to see what is all the fuss about with Hobonichi for the 2026 lineup, well, you have come to the right place, my friend. So without further ado, let's just dive into the video. So first things first, I feel like this is sort of like a mandatory. If nothing else comes into your box, this absolutely needs to come into your box. So this is their little Hobonichi pen that they always kind of send. We're just gonna set her aside because we don't need that one right now. So I'm gonna go through accessories with you first, and then after that we can go into the planner itself. So I was really intrigued by Moomin. So I picked up a couple of Moomin things, and I'm so excited about it because I don't have literally anything like this. Like, look how cute they are. So these are just your standard, I think these are sticky notes. Yeah, they are. All of these are smaller sticky notes where you can either flag things or you can just write small little notes on them. This is their pencil boards, and I haven't picked up a pencil board in like a minute, so I picked up the weeks. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge as to which planner I went with for the year. I also have some more fun accessories. I was so excited about these. So I picked up these transparent dot stickers, and they come in, there's 2 sheets in here, and they come in the 12 different colors, which is really exciting. So you can use them in many, many ways. I'm already getting these out of the packaging only because I know that I'm going to be using this pretty regularly, and I'm probably not going to. Oh my gosh, I love these. These are like the semi-transparent stickers. I love this. So yeah, you have, I do think that for 2 sheets of stickers, I do think that they're kind of overpriced, but these are just like very basic staples. They're going to be very useful. Here, I feel like you get a lot more for your money, even though they're the same size, but you get more volume. Again, they give you kind of like a little breakdown of like how you can use them. I love the fact that it's made directly by Hobonichi though. That's making me very happy. I'm just going to take, actually, no, you know what? We'll keep them in their packaging, just so that we're keeping that nice and consistent. I will 100% not keep these in the packaging later on just because I usually just keep all my dot stickers together, but for the sake of this video, we're going to do that. Next thing on the accessory list, or actually I wanted to really grab 2 covers. So here's one of them. This one is called Beautiful Seasons. I'm not sure if you can see them. I will just pop on the screen the actual listing so that you can see it in better lighting. Now, one thing that does come through really, really beautifully is the Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi has got me bad this year. I feel like I almost bought like an extra cover because the one that they had for the A6 cousin was just so gosh darn cute. And honestly, I really wanted to have like a variety. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss another video, because for the month of October, we are actually chatting at least 3 times a week. So yeah, if you love stationery and if you love planners just like me, then make sure you subscribe. Okay, let's get back into the video. I wanted to have just, something different, because what I ended up doing for this year is I went with, as you could have guessed, my main planner. Well, it's not my main planner. So like the planner that I picked up from Hobonichi is the weeks, and I picked it up in a mega. Now, if you're new to having a mega the way I am, because for the past few years, I've been actually just using, let me take this off so that you don't get the glare here. But I have been just using like their regular sized planner. And while there is a little bit of a difference, like obviously this one is much, much thicker. I wanted to go with something, like I never actually bought, for one, I never bought a mega before, and I also never bought a solid color. So that will be my first. And then when you open her up, you get like the little robot. I have to say though, I think that they forgot the robot from my order because I didn't get one. They sent me the pen as I showed you a moment ago, but unfortunately they forgot to add the little love robot. Not a biggest deal, but I don't know, I was a little bummed about it. But the big difference is here. So if you're not familiar, the Hobonichi Weeks Mega is pretty much identical to what you get in the regular size, except for, of course, this, where your note section goes all the way from here, and you get, I think, over 200 pages. I think it goes up to like 215. So yeah, you have about 215 pages of note sections, which tells me that this is something where it's going to be on the go with you and you have ample amount of space for all of the things that are kind of happening with you. So I will go through it with you in a moment. After the unboxing, we will kind of go through each item of how I'm planning on using it, what the purpose is, and what my plans are for 2026. But for now, let's just keep going with the unboxing. The other thing that I really wanted to get, so I figured since I'm getting like just a base color and I got like a clear cover for the weeks, I haven't bought a cover, like an actual one for like years. So meat, and I wanted something muted, so I ended up picking up this muted colored. I don't know, for some reason I think that this totally reminds me of the Traveler's Notebook. Has like a similar insert to this that's made out of fabric, and when I looked at this, I'm like, oh my gosh, that works. So you can kind of place your weeks in here. You have like a little folder. You have some pockets, which is really cool. And then you have a little pen holder. And then what's really cool about it is you also have like a little pen pouch. So it's kind of like a little all-in-one, if that's what you want. So, and the fabric, it's kind of like, think like raincoat. Like that's the best way I can describe this material. It's sort of like, it's a fabric, but it's almost like a waterproof material. It's not really cotton. It's more like polyester. I don't know. I will have to look up the actual description of like what the actual material is, but it comes in like this moss green color. A little ASMR moment. I am so happy with this, actually. I was kind of hesitant because like I looked at the color selection and I wasn't really feeling most of them. This looked really nice and muted as I continue to struggle with basic tasks today. Okay, here we go. Part of me wants to just, okay, let me just see. Slides right in. Oh my gosh, how cute are we? Oh, and then you have like a little pocket. Yeah, like this essentially becomes like a little wallet if you want to use it like that. I really wanted to have something where it's, sometimes I just want to be able to use just the book on its own. Sometimes I really want like a cover for it. And I wanted something that's relatively sturdy where, and something where like if I wanted to keep these with me, I can. So here we go. And here is our pencil board. So we could just put her in here. How cute is that, you guys? Okay, I wanted to take a look at the Hobonichi cover. No, Tamagotchi cover. First of all, I'm so glad that they did this. It definitely brings me nostalgia. This sort of feels like, I don't know if you guys feel this way. This gives me like Mario Kart, like, you know, Game Boy vibes. Like, first of all, I'm just thinking out loud here. How come that Hobonichi has never gone after Mario Kart? Just me? Okay. Like I said, I'm just thinking out loud, but I'm just saying. Oh, you're so, so cute. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh, I can't even. I can't even. We'll get back to this cover later. I don't even care. This looks so adorable. Like legit. Between this and this, it's like nostalgia all over again, but make it functional. That's what this feels like. I don't know if that's how you feel about it. And then you just put everything in, and then it's like a compact little system. Okay, that's it about Hobonichi Weeks. Let's talk about if there is anything else that I choose to share that I have ordered for 2026. I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so this is it on the weeks that I ordered that came in this particular order. Now in a separate order, but nevertheless not less important order, just a separate order. I actually had to go with, the cousin, with the A6 size cousin. Why? Why did we do that? Why? What? I mean, explain this. Make this make sense. I'm so glad you asked. Here's what's happening. And I've been kind of briefly hinting at it for the last little bit in previous videos. Basically, what is happening is that I wasn't actually, so if you're surprised, I'm surprised. So I'm just as surprised as you are. But here's the thing. The reason why I wanted to switch, or at least give myself the opportunity to switch over to the A6 size cousin or Techo, is because I am not planning, potentially I'm not planning on using the Hibino for 2026. And the reason for that is because I find that there were just too many pages that were left unwritten, and I find that to be too expensive for what it was. So I wanted to give myself the opportunity to test out the Hobonichi, because here we actually get 1 page per day. Let me just zoom you in. In case you're not familiar with the Hobonichi cousin, like in the A6 size or the Hobonichi Techo, you get 1 page per day, and I believe that it also gives you a monthly. Yeah, you get like a monthly layout, and then you get a daily. And I looked back on my previous planners from previous years, and I have found that I have been using them, and I have been finding them helpful, and I would reach for them regularly, and these were sort of like my daily journals. And maybe I got a little bit too inspired by some of the other creators. I'm not sure. But I said, okay, well, why don't we just kind of give this a shot? I'm going to get like a really, and the other thing was, I think that kind of made this decision a little bit easier for me, is that I wanted a planner, or I wanted a journal where it's not so thick that I can actually get a cover for it. And so please meet, what cover, you might ask? Please meet the Baumkuchen Superior Labor collaboration, and this is their newest cover. So I said I'm going to buy an A6 size cover, and I can either try this, or if I hate this setup, then I can try another A6 size planner and see how that goes. So why don't we just complete that circuit together? I already had this in there, but for the sake of the video, I really wanted to just kind of show you guys, because I was just so excited to get the cover. I haven't bought a leather cover like this in a really long time, actually. So here we go. We have them, and you can tell like it is so new. I have to still like, I don't have to break in the planner, I have to break in the cover, because the cover is just very, still, you can hear it. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get to a point where this is laying as flat as I want, but I'm hoping it will, because see, see how it's still, I get it, it's still a little new, and that's totally fine. So this is how we lay somewhat flat. Again, I know that this will kind of work itself in, but basically I do love this. Actually, I do love this. I think that this looks really, really pretty. I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to get this to lay flat, but I will make it work, because that's just what we do. That's just how we roll. But basically, now that you see the full picture, my thing was that I really wanted to get like a new cover. I wanted to get something beautiful and different. I wanted to have a change, and I wasn't exactly 100% certain that that change had to stay with Midori. However, I do have a backup plan with Midori in case this doesn't really work out. So worry no more, or but for now, like, I have the cover. I think that it looks stunning. I think that like there's just everything about it is just so beautiful. You can add like a little card here if you want. It just came in with this little descriptor card from Superior Labor. So this was sort of my thing with regards to the Hobonichi cousin that I really wanted to have. And I mean, like, look, twinning, so beautiful. So this was sort of like my thing with the A6 size cousin, that I really wanted to kind of make a switch where I'm using something on a day-to-day basis. I give myself a little bit less space. And my only thing with this is obviously the only thing that usually kind of stops me, and I mean, I will 100% get over this, is the white paper, the white Tomo River paper. Not the biggest deal. I will 100% make peace with this. It's at the end of the day, if the overall feel of the journal, it feels easy and accessible, and I can make things work, and I'm regularly reaching for it, then to me that tells me that that is the right journaling system, regardless of the color of the paper. So that was sort of like the deal that was sort of like the big secret that I was kind of waiting to kind of share with all of you until all the Hobonichi products made it here. And then now I can kind of bring this guy back, and then we can actually chit chat about what is the function, how I'm planning on using it, why I went with the Mega. So I wanted to have a cover that is just a little bit more functional, especially if I'm out and about. My thing was with the Hobonichi weeks was I was kind of back and forth, at least for the month of September, with this guy, because I'm very much used to, oh my gosh, the irony, guys, watch. I can't even make this up. Right? Anyways. I was very, very used to using it the way that you see it here. I was very used to using the Hobonichi Weeks more like as a main planner, main on-the-go system. But the thing is that that role has already been filled with the on-the-go system that I have with the Traveler's Notebook. So here, I do see myself switching styles to something like, I'm trying to show you. Something, this would be close to it. I will do a spread so that you can see it, but this would be like the closest to it that I can get, where maybe there's a little bit of decoration, but the rest is very, very functional and it's color coded. So I'm slowly settling into that, because option one was that I'm not using it, and then I have a whole bunch of blank weeks. Option two was that I'm using it, but then I'm using it in a really decorative way. And then option three, which is where we end up going, is basically I'm going to be using it in a really functional way, where I'm either writing out all the things that are happening for social, and then all of the events and all of the stats that are happening online, on Etsy, and potentially, I think I've been hinting at this, that Patreon is coming this month. So all of those things will end up kind of going into the weeks. And I also knew that as soon as all of those details make it in here, these daily pages, these note pages will end up filling up pretty quickly, because I didn't have like a clear focus. So like right now I'm just using them more like brainstorming, and I'm using them for like ideas. I'm not really utilizing this for day-to-day planning. And I mean, right now we're in October, and you can tell like note section will be a massive issue. Like I have like a little bit of notes left for the remainder of the year, and we're just beginning of October. So there's October, November, December. As soon as I start like cramming in more information here, this will be an issue. So I just said, well, you know what? Why don't I just spend a few more dollars and then actually get the Mega, where this does not become an issue, and then I can actually I can create like full-blown trackers here, and we can create, you know, check-ins weekly, and check-ins, and ideas, and brain dumping pages, and all of those things. And then I don't think that I will feel limited by how much information I can put in there. So at least that is initially the plan. But I mean, just like with any planner system, I have come to learn that the way that I'm using it, it needs to be a functional tool so that it makes my life easier. And then depending on what season I happen to be in, it needs to work with me, not me working for the system. So hopefully that makes sense. Didn't want like my unboxing video to also be a setup video, because I'm not just going to be adding like little tabs here and add a few decor stickers and kind of call it a day. That I can do that with you right now, but I don't think that that's really where you would see like the bulk of my thought process. The bulk of my thought process will actually come in when we're actually doing the setup together. But for now, I really just wanted to do a quick little unboxing, show you all the things that I bought. And then the primary reason why I'm going in this direction is because I really, honestly, I really just wanted to have like an on-the-go system that does not include like 5 notebooks and then a separate like planner system that is on the go. Because if I'm being really honest, if I have new ideas, I know that the traveler's notebook is not going to be like a good placeholder for that. For me, like especially that weekly layout is too small for that. The weekly is enough for me to just give a small snapshot of what's happening. This will be a great placeholder for anything and everything, all of the little details that I'm keeping track of for anything and everything online. So because my focus now more shifting, especially is going to be shifting even more in 2026, I'm getting the tools that I know will make sense for me instead of hoping that I will not have to adjust my systems in January. And that's without me rambling further. So I'm hoping that like the monthly will kind of play a role of like just like a quick snapshot overviews, which is why I love stuff like that small sticky notes that I showed you earlier. Where did it go? So stuff like this are like really great to just kind of catch my attention. For this, it's so cute, right? But also it's a really great place where you can kind of flex something. The other one that was like that actually, and I kind of wish, like if I see this and if you see this in stores, please grab it. We had this. This was from Muji like a while ago, and these were like basically an almost perfect fit. So when I saw this from Moomin, I thought, oh my gosh, like that's really literally what it's reminding me of. So what I mean, like this gave me like almost like a perfect fit, like these like small little sticky notes. I don't use this very often anymore because I'm always scared that I'm gonna run out, and then so I'm being a psycho about this, but that's my issue, not yours. So I'm hoping that like little tools like this will actually make information kind of stand out a little bit more, obviously. I'm hoping to use the monthly more as like a full-blown overview for anything and everything that's kind of coming up online. Not necessarily a social media calendar, but just like mark things in of like what are like main themes or things that I really need to pay attention to or what my plans are for the month. So it really helps me with future planning. And then obviously the weeks will be sort of like the tracking of small information, what is kind of coming up for both social and for anything online, basically. And then the note section is sort of like the star of the show with this planner, in my opinion, just because within the note section, I'm hoping to add more annual trackers. I don't know if I'm going to be like really, really reaching for the perpetuals because these are just so small. I know that you get them at the very beginning of the planner. Like, I don't know if this will be sufficient enough. Anyway, I think that me just kind of drawing out like an actual tracker will be really helpful. I think that adding, stats trackers and things like that will be really helpful. I want to add at least a couple pages of like brain dumping ideas, just closing of the month with like reflections and things like that. I think that all of that will be really helpful. I will be filming like a separate setup video where we can set up both the journal and the planner together. So stay tuned for that. And once that video is live, I will come back and link it in the description here so that the flow can continue. Overall, my plan is, and my big reflection moment for moving into both planner season and for 2026 was to not overcomplicate the cover and to not overcomplicate the planner system. Make sure that I have sufficient space so that I can do what I actually need to do, and kind of keep it simple. So I had a much looser grip on Hobonichi for this year than I did last year, and for that I'm very proud. So that's without going further and further into what I'm planning on setting up and all of those things, because otherwise we're going to be here for an hour. This is what I have for you. First of all, if you have found this video helpful and useful, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't had a chance to just yet. We chat 3 times a week, at least for the month of October. So make sure that you subscribe if you haven't had a chance to just yet. And your question of the day, I would love to know. Now that you've seen the full unboxing, I would love to hear from you. Share, what have you bought from Hobonichi for 2026? If you have bought anything, please make sure that you comment below. I would love to know. And in the meanwhile, just keep planning, keep journaling, keep doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.